Here's some tips on using word problems to represent adding and subtracting fractions. For example, if I want to add 3/4 plus 1/3, I could turn that into the word problem 3/4 of a pizza plus 1/3 of a pizza. What do those add up to? So in the last video we went through how to solve that. So we use the idea of common denominators. So the common denominator for 4 and 3 is going to be 12. And so what I do is I multiply the 3/4 by 3 over 3, and I multiply the 1/3 by 4 over 4. And so that's going to give me 9/12 plus 4/12, which comes to 13/12, which if I express that as a mixed number would be 1 and 1/12. And we can see that in my diagram. So if I divide my 3/4, each quarter piece, into 3 additional slices. So let's try and do that. So now I've got 12ths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9/12. And if I do a similar thing to the 1/3 slice, so let's divide that into 1/12 slices. So I can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4/12. And then I add those together. Over here I'm going to have 13/12, so I'll have 1 whole pizza plus 1/12. Okay, so addition, it's fairly straightforward. What about subtraction? So let's do 3/4 minus 1/3. So as a word problem I could say I've got 3/4 of a pizza and I'm subtracting 1/3 of a pizza. So here's my picture to go along with that. And again, I can use the idea of common denominators to solve this. So up here, we represented 3/4 as 9/12 and 1/3 as 4/12. So I'll just write that down here. So we have 9/12 minus 4/12. So I must have 5/12 left. Let's show that on the diagram. So here's my quarters, here's my 12ths, so that's my 9/12, and I'm subtracting 4/12, and so I've got 5/12 left over. Okay, so where we need to be careful here is with our wording. So for example, if I said the following to set up my word problem, I've got 3/4 of a pizza left over. So that's my pizza over here, the 3/4 of a pizza. And then let's say I eat 1/3. How much pizza is left? So you need to be careful here, because what does this 1/3 refer to? So we can see from the picture here that it refers to 1/3 of a whole pizza. So I need to make that clear when I'm setting up my word problem. It would be incorrect to say, for example, I eat 1/3 of it, because that's super ambiguous. So let's read that through. I've got 3/4 of a pizza left over, and I eat 1/3 of it. Well, that's not what we're doing here, okay? Because what that would be, here's my 3/4 of leftover pizza. What is 1/3 of this? Well, 1/3 of this is going to be one of these quarter sections. I've got 3 quarter sections of pizza, and 1/3 of 3/4 is going to be 1/4. So what I'm saying over here is I'm eating a quarter slice of pizza. And then obviously I'm just going to have a half of the pizza left. Okay, but that's not the arithmetic problem that we're trying to set up a word problem for. Okay, so it's not correct to say I eat 1/3 of it. I need to say I eat 1/3 of. And if we really want to be explicit, I eat 1/3 of a whole pizza. Okay, and now it's clear what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this is what I'm eating, a 1/3 piece of a whole pizza. Okay, in relation to this over here, I'm eating this section here. Okay, so it's not 1/3 of the leftover, 3/4 of a leftover pizza. It's 1/3 of a whole pizza, and that is equivalent to 4/12 of a pizza. So if I start with 3/4 of a pizza, which is 9/12, and I eat 1/3 of a pizza, which is 4/12, I'm going to end up with 5/12 of a pizza, which has got what I've got in my picture here. So it's very important to be very careful with wording when you're thinking about word problems for subtracting fractions. When you're adding fractions, this issue doesn't really come up, but when you're subtracting them, you can easily run into trouble if you're a little bit sloppy with the words that you use.